spending billions on aircraft carriers just so US and French fighters can take off, and not UK fighters?
They will have UK fighters on. The question we've been left is a very, very difficult question. We have the current aircraft carriers. The ones ordered by the last government were 3 times the size of the current carriers. And they hadn't made a proper decision about what aeroplanes to put on them. And so we've had to try and answer this question. And we've decided that the right answer is to go ahead with the carriers, to put the first one into service, and to make it interoperable with our closest allies, the Americans and the French. And that means fitting it with a cat and trap so it can carry the carrier version of the Joint Strike Fighter. These will be British Joint Strike Fighters on British carriers. We will have a full carrier capability. But we think it makes sense, if you're going to do that, to make it interoperable with your closest allies, the Americans and the French. In terms of what we inherited a situation where that wasn't going to be the case. And the key decision that we've had to make, and it's been a very difficult decision, in terms of Harriers or Tornadoes, and in terms of what you put on the aircraft carriers, is I think it makes sense to say, let's get the decision right for the long term. And the right decision for the long term is to have the carrier, to have the right sort of Joint Strike Fighter, to have it interoperable with the French and the Americans, so you have that strike capability in the future. I accept that that leaves a gap for a number of years where you don't have carrier strike capability. You still have the capability of projecting air power by using friendly countries' bases, but I think it's better to make the right decision for the long term and have that gap than make the wrong decision now that might make it easier for the politicians now to answer the question, but actually wouldn't give us the right forces for the future. But to answer your question very directly, this will be a British carrier with British planes flying off it to give us that carrier strike capability, and the planes and the carrier will arrive in service at approximately the same time.